Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel, where we create visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your applications. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. Okay, here we have a nice residential application, and so this is basically a screened-in patio deck here. And there are going to be several different seating options. I don't have all those for sure, so I'm just going to lay out what I think would work as far as the placement of heaters for this application. So first of all, you can see there is a screened in section here, so we do need to be aware of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just remove that screen so it's easier to maneuver throughout this job. And let's look at the overall dimensions. So here we have 55 feet 9 inches, and that's from the outside edge of this post here to the other post here. We could be off a few inches, but that's not going to be a big difference, make a big difference. There is these sections here, approximately 12 foot from inside post to inside post, and you can see there's another section in here that is a kind of enclosed area, but it also has a flat ceiling as opposed to a slope ceiling inside of this area over here. There are several fans and the possibility of having some light fixtures coming down from here and one over here. And then also we do have some light fixtures inside here. There's I believe 8 of them, something of that nature. So there's one here, 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 and here, and then there's also, I think, 4 on this side here. We have an overall height here of 8'7" to the bottom end of the beam right here, and then we have a slope that goes up to approximately 11 feet to this inside edge here. Sliding door, and a sliding door on this side here. There's also another section that they're going to be looking at heating, and that's going to be this covered deck area here. And this one here we have approximately 21.5 feet by 22 and a few inches here. And then we also have it at a height here of starting at the bottom edge of the post here at 7'5", 8'3", I believe. 8'5" rather, to the top edge here. That's 1 foot distance here. And then I have a top of this bottom edge of the beam, or the height of the bottom edge of the beam, at 14'3", with a slope, I think it was 7 to 12 or 5 to 12. Let me just double check that here real quick. And yeah, 7 to 12. So I think that's about it for this. Yeah, I think that's about it. And there might be a backing over here, so that might have some cover, or a wall, I should say, here on the back side here. Not quite sure of that, but in any case, this will still be a good plan for this application, if that exists or not. All right, so let me go ahead and turn off those dimensions, and let's go ahead and look at what I might recommend for this area here. First of all, I want to show you, let's see here. I think I have the electric Infratech heaters here, and these are slimline 4,000 watt units. Now, they did mention that there might be a power issue with regards to heating up the whole patio, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. So essentially what I have here is I have all 4,000 watt units. I have them mounted for the most part on the outer perimeter, and you can see there's one here, one here, one over here, and then 2 over here, and 2 inside here. I think I do have them over here. I have, yes, the 2 here, 2 here, and then I have 2 of the 6,000 watts on top here. I'm not quite sure if there's going to be a fan there in the middle or not. In any case, let's go ahead and look at what the footprint of heat would be. I'm going to go ahead and take off the ceiling here and roof area, and just kind of show you what that footprint of heat would look like. So the footprint of heat, you can see with the slim lines out here, because of the distance of throw, we're not going to be able to cover, right around the doorway over here unless we put an additional unit up here, but we do have this beam to be concerned about. And then you can see here I've placed this one above the doorway to make this area warm here too. But I would have to guess that this may not be a occupied space for the most part, so it's something that they have to make a decision on. But the best heated area will be this area here, where you have the 2 units. And I'm sorry about the footprint of heat here. And it's a little difficult to maneuver through this this ray here, I should say. But you can see here that this area is very well covered with those 2 units. Let's see if we can get in here right. But in any case, yeah, this would be a good application over here. But over here, you can see that if you're on the perimeter, you'll feel that warmth. That ray is fairly decent. These heaters do require 6 inches of clearance above when mounted on a vertical surface like this. And so I do have maintained that 6 inches of clearance. If I went with a higher output unit, then I need 12 inches of clearance, and I don't really have that from the ceiling. So that's why I'm choosing these units here. I thought I had an example of the 6,000 watt. Let's see here real quick. And no, I don't, but I did look at placing a 6,000 watt unit over here, well, in place of all these units basically. But yeah, that it would have to drop the heater down below this beam, and I'm trying to avoid that. So that's why I'm choosing these 4,000 watt units. But if you're sitting out here within, say, maybe 8 to 10 feet off of this edge here, you're going to feel the warmth. The rays right here, for instance, will continue to travel, and these will also continue to travel. And so there will be some warmth here, just not going to be the most ideal amount of heat that you can have. But we are limited based on power outage or power usage, as well as clearances to combustibles above the heater. So again, there would be your footprint, and I think that's a decent footprint. Over here, again, the footprint with 4 of the slim lines on the outer edge and the 2 6,000 watt units here, this would be a very comfortable space over here. So all right, so that is one option, and this is actually my preferred option. Let's go ahead and turn off that and look at the possibilities of placing maybe some gas heaters on the perimeter. And here's the big issue with gas heaters on the perimeter. So first of all, you would have to change the angle of the heater itself to a 30 degree to get that ray to come in. And then when you change the angle of the heater itself, you have to drop the heater additional 4 inches. These are S25s, 25,000 BTUs gas units. They could be natural gas or propane. However, with that roof line, you need to maintain that clearance above the heater. The other thing I want to mention is that there is exhaust that flows out of here on all units. That exhaust is going to flow up into the ceiling area, and then it's going to superheat this area. So you would have to install some sort of ventilation system for a gas unit to be installed in the area like this. And that doesn't matter whether we have it on the perimeter like I'm showing right here, or whether we have it on the next option that I'm going to show you. But I don't like this option here personally, but let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. You can see this footprint of heat is fairly decent with this application, and we're not heating up this space here, and we're not hitting the areas, you know, next to these sliding doors as well. So just bear that in mind. We could place another unit inside this area over here, but we do have a lot of different issues with regards to these beams. So I think this would be the most ideal for a perimeter application using S25 units throughout this whole span here. All right, so let's go ahead and look at, let's see here. I'm going to put the covered patio section heaters, natural gas or propane heaters in here. And you can see there's one issue I already have with regards to this beam. When this is an S25 model, 25,000 BTU, it requires 9 inches of clearance above. And so, and I also need to have the clearance to the side, which I believe is 18 inches from the side. So you can see that I'm not meeting those clearances at this moment. But once I place these heaters and move them to the center of the beam here, I'm going to go ahead and show you what that would look like. This is going to be roughly what it looks like here. Then I need to drop the heater down. So I want to go ahead and move it all the way to the top here and then drop it down 9 inches. And that's where the heater would have to go. And so that's what it would look like. And then if I did the same over here, let's go ahead and move that. And the reason I'm showing this the way I'm showing it is basically because I had the heaters placed at a 8-foot distance apart from each other, which I was more ideal. But with the fan there and with these beams here, that's going to limit the places where I can actually place the heater itself. So that's what that would look like. Let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. Footprint of heat's fairly decent, but you can see that we're missing this space here in the middle because I had to push them further apart from each other. So in any case, that would be that. And then let's go ahead and look at what the rest of the patio section would look like if I put gas heaters inside. And here again, what I've done here is these on the perimeter are all S25s. So that's 9 inches of clearance above. And the ones that you see here, and I believe I have one over here, these are S34s, so they have a little bit higher of a clearance pointed straight down to the ground. You're required of 14 inches of clearance from the top of the heater to any combustible above. So that is what I have here. Also, you can see that I do have a couple of these off as far as the elevation's concerned. They're not all the same because of the slope ceiling here, and then also because of issues with regards to beams and things of that nature. I need to make sure I'm clear of those beams and clear of any combustible above the heater itself. So let's just double check this clearance here. I believe I have it at 9 inches, and let's go ahead and move this up to see. So what I have here is at 9 inches exactly. So that would be the bottom edge. This is going to have a longer bar coming across here so that the heater is level, but the clearance has got to be from the closest point to the ceiling. So that is where I have, and these are all S25s here. So there's only 2 S34s there and one over here. All right, let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. And I'm going to actually take off the rooftop again here. But here you can see that you have a really uniform coverage throughout the whole span, with the exception of this entryway here. This is a sliding door, so I'm assuming that this is an entry exit point here, and you may or may not need that heater. Now you can always delete, even like, let's say if you're not really looking forward to having the outer edge of these corners here heated, you can delete those, and then you can go with something like this where you have these 4 zones heated real well, with this area over here as well. So okay, and I'm going to go ahead and throw those 2 back on here, and we'll go ahead and look at the patio over here. And you can see what I've done here is basically mounted. These are S34s. I mounted them on the ceiling. I believe they're about 9 foot center to center, maybe 10 foot here. Let me just double check. And yeah, so we got 9 foot center to center, and we have a nice good clean coverage. Basically the heater itself is, let's see if I can get rid of that line. The heater itself is installed in the center of this span here. Well, I should really say that it's from this center point here 5 feet over to the center point here, and then same over here. So center to center, the heaters are 11 feet actually. So that would be 5.5 feet, 5.5 feet, so 11 feet center to center. And you can see that you're getting a really good footprint, and this would be a good application for this patio over here. Another thing just to think about with the issue regarding the power availability, then maybe use gas heaters over here and all electric over here, or maybe just this space here electric and a couple of gas back here, or a couple of electric over here, gas over here. I know there's a lot of different ways to do that, but the combination is going to be a decision that you'll have to make eventually, and also how much coverage you're really looking for. So, all right, I think that is about it. Let's see if there's anything else. Just going to show you the floor plan here. We're pretty much matching up with that, and I think that's about it. All right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, we're not monetized. YouTube does not promote our channel in any way unless we receive thumbs up from our viewers, and we appreciate that so much. Thank you. Have an excellent day.